Imagine this. You sit down at your desk, press the power button on a tiny silver box, and in a few seconds you've got the kind of power people use to spend thousands of dollars to get in a huge, noisy desktop. No fan screaming, no giant tower on the floor, just a clean setup and a machine that feels way faster than it has any right to be for the money. That's the promise of Apple's Mac Mini. And whether you're hearing people talk about the new M5 Mac Mini or just the latest Apple Silicon model, the real question is simple. Is this little box actually the smartest computer you can buy right now? Stay with me, because over the next few minutes I'm going to walk you through exactly what this machine can and can't do in real life. And by the end, you'll know if the Mac Mini fits your life, which version you should actually buy, and how to avoid the one mistake that quietly ruins the experience for a lot of people. The Mac Mini is Apple's smallest desktop computer. No screen, no keyboard, no mouse, just a square of aluminum that looks almost too minimal to be a real computer. You plug in your own monitor, your own keyboard and mouse, and suddenly you've turned any desk into a full Mac workstation. Inside that small box is where things get interesting. Apple's newer Mac Minis use their own Apple Silicon chips. Chips like the M1, M2, and in the future, whatever they call the next ones. M3, M4, maybe even M5. It doesn't really matter what the name is. The idea is the same. These chips combine the CPU, GPU, and memory into one tight package that's fast, power-efficient, and completely silent in normal use, which is why a little Mac Mini can edit 4K video, compile big coding projects, handle 30 Chrome tabs, and still feel smooth. But the real magic isn't just raw speed. It's how that power changes the feel of everyday stuff. Think about your current computer for a second. Do you ever click something and then wait? Apps taking a few seconds to launch? The cursor stuttering when you have too many windows open? That tiny bit of lag all day, every day, is what makes using a slow computer exhausting. On a good Apple Silicon Mac Mini, that lag mostly disappears. You click, it opens. You scroll, it's smooth. You scrub through a video timeline, and it doesn't fall apart. That "I'm not fighting my computer" feeling is what you're really buying. So who is this actually for? If you're the kind of person who lives in the browser, email, documents, streaming, Zoom calls, a bit of light photo editing, social media management, the Mac Mini is honestly overkill in the best way. Browsing feels instant. Multiple monitors are easy. Video calls don't make the fan spin up because you'll almost never hear the fans. And if you're working from home, answering emails, bouncing between spreadsheets and meetings, this little box is like getting a luxury desk chair. Everything just feels better, smoother, and less stressful. If you're more on the creative side, maybe you're editing YouTube videos, podcasts, wedding photos, or producing music, the Mac Mini starts to look like a cheat code. A properly spec'd Mac Mini can cut through 4K footage, handle color correction, manage huge Lightroom libraries, or run dozens of audio tracks in Logic or Pro Tools. And because it's a desktop, you can plug in a big, color-accurate monitor, an audio interface, hard drives, MIDI controllers, your whole creative setup, without dealing with dongle hell like on a laptop. You get that pro feel without dropping $3,000 to $4,000 on a maxed-out MacBook Pro. Programmers, developers, and tech people quietly love the Mac Mini too. You can run containers, databases, local servers, spin up multiple dev environments, and it just keeps going. And if you care about home lab setups, a Mac Mini can be turned into a home server, a media center, or even a little cloud machine for your house. You can leave it on 24/7 and barely notice it on your power bill. For students and families, this is where the Mac Mini can save a lot of money. One Mac Mini in the living room or office, one decent monitor, and suddenly you have a family computer that everyone can use for homework, streaming, light gaming, FaceTime, and office work. Because you're paying for just the computer and not the screen and battery, you're usually spending a lot less than you would on a MacBook with the same performance. But there are some catches you absolutely need to know before you buy one, because these are the parts that can make or break the experience. The first big thing most people don't realize is that you can't upgrade the RAM or the internal storage later. What you buy on day one is what you're stuck with for the life of the machine. And that means if you cheap out on memory or storage, everything I just said can flip from wow to ugh really fast. The base Mac Mini usually comes with 8 gigabytes of unified memory and a small internal SSD. If all you do is light browsing and a couple of apps, 8 gigs might be fine, but start running multiple heavy apps, editing big photos, keeping a lot of tabs open, or using pro software, and suddenly the system starts swapping to disk, and that instant, snappy feel gets dragged down. You'll feel it in those small but constant delays. Storage is similar. That base internal SSD fills up way faster than you think. The operating system, apps, photos, documents, maybe a few games or creative projects, and suddenly you're getting disk almost full messages. Your computer gets slower, you're deleting stuff, and juggling files on and off external drives. So here's the one rule you should seriously consider. If you can afford it, prioritize more memory and enough internal storage to hold your most important apps and active projects. For a lot of people, that means stepping up from 8 to 16 gigabytes of memory and at least 512 gigabytes of internal storage, ideally 1 terabyte if you work with big files. External drives are great for archive projects and backups, but you want your main, current work living on that super fast internal SSD. That's what keeps the machine feeling fast over the long term. The second catch is that you do need to factor in the cost of a monitor, keyboard, and mouse if you don't already have them. This is why some people compare the Mac Mini to a MacBook and think, well, the MacBook is more expensive, but it includes a screen and a keyboard. And they're right, but here's the twist. With the Mac Mini, you get to choose your own screen. That might sound boring, but it's powerful. You can grab a big 27-inch 4K display, or even an ultra-wide that makes multitasking so much easier. You're not stuck with a 13-inch laptop display for serious work, and you can change that screen anytime you want without replacing the whole computer. So yes, you might spend a bit more upfront if you need to buy everything, but in the long run, it could be cheaper and far more flexible than upgrading laptops over and over. The third thing to understand is portability. The Mac Mini is technically portable in the sense that you can throw in a bag and take it somewhere, but it's not a laptop. There's no battery, no built-in display. If you need to work everywhere, coffee shops, airports, hotel rooms, this should not be your main computer. But if you mostly work at a desk and maybe just need light work on the go from a separate device like an iPad or a cheaper laptop, the Mac Mini as your main powerhouse at home can be the perfect combo. So if you want a fast, quiet, set and forget desktop for the next 5 to 7 years, and you mostly use it at one desk, the Mac Mini is one of the best values in Apple's entire lineup. You get almost pro-level performance for a fraction of the price of a high-end MacBook Pro or Mac Studio. If you're a content creator, a student in a creative field, or a freelancer doing design, video, or music, the Mac Mini gives you room to grow, as long as you don't underspec it. Spend a little extra on memory and storage now instead of regretting it every day for years. If you're a programmer, a small business owner, or a power user who likes having a reliable desktop running all the time, the Mac Mini is rock solid, quiet, cool, and powerful. And as Apple releases newer chips, M3, M4, even that future M5 Mac Mini people will talk about, the same rules apply. Don't obsess over the chip name. Focus on getting enough RAM and storage for what you actually do. If you're someone who truly lives on the go and barely ever sits at a desk, then the Mac Mini might not be your main computer. In that case, it's better as a second machine, a powerful home base that waits for you at your desk while a laptop handles your travel life. So, is the Mac Mini worth it? For a lot of people in the US right now, yes, if you're honest about how you work and you buy the right configuration. It's that rare product that quietly over-delivers. No giant screen, no dramatic unboxing moment, just a tiny box that boots, runs, and lets you get things done. If you're wondering whether it will actually feel like an upgrade from what you have now, ask yourself one question. How often does your current computer annoy you? If the answer is all the time, then that tiny silver box on your desk might be the simplest, most powerful quality of life upgrade you make this year.